Have you ever wanted to design your own cycling kit? Maybe just for yourself or for the group that you ride with? Well, you go into it and you find out there's a fair bit more involved than you think, and quite often you have to buy it in bulk, and the minimum order you have to make is quite high. So you go into the expense of it, and especially with some brands like Santini, Rafa, Scodi, Nalini, you find out that the price is really high and prohibitive. So you scan locally and you find some local people nearby that can do printing kits for you. And even then it's still rather expensive. So what do? Well, don't worry. This video may be for you. Your desires to have your own kit just may be possible. Well, whether it's just for you, the club, the team, the group of guys that you ride with, all wearing the same kit, it does look good. Even the motorists on the road will notice you more if you're all wearing the same kit. And it's not just the jerseys and the bibs that you can get customized. You can go arm warmers, leg warmers, socks, caps, overshoes, jackets for the cold, vests, gloves, and then you can go skin suits and triathlon suits. And then with your jerseys, you can also go race cut or traditional shape. And there's probably even more options out there as well. On some of the sites I saw, you can get each individual rider's name on each individual garment. I think it was about $2 extra, that's all, pretty cheap. Anyhow, the guys I ride with down here, Coast Cruisers, one of the guys designed a jersey. It's not super fancy, it's a bit retro looking, but we all liked it. So we went ahead and got our first lot printed. That's it there. This one's been worn and washed, it's mine, about 22 times, and it looks excellent, still just as good as brand new. And just to compare it, we were so happy we went and bought a second lot. So I'm going to open it up and show you, and we'll compare if there's any wear or coloration or fading compared to that one. Individually packed with a seal on there. Sizes. So let's get one out. Comes with a little tag on it. Now this is the same size what I take, size M. This is a full zip. This is the basic jersey, the very basic cheapest one that they do, and it's still very impressive. So let's have a look. Of course, the new one's a bit wrinkly because it's been squashed up in the post for a few weeks, but once it's worn, it irons itself out. Now, taking a closer look, looking at the colours, still very true, almost like new. In Australia here, we've got very intense ultraviolet light from our sun and most of the year round. So usually the back of the jersey can get faded, but in this case, it's still perfect. The other thing as well is when there's sweat, like under the armpits, sometimes you'll get the salts, which can do funny things to the inks. Well, this is absolutely perfect as well. No wrinkling of the material either, or no stitching coming apart under the arms, so that's fine. Pockets, they're all fine. I've stuffed these pockets quite a few times with bulky arm warmers and gloves, a few tools, a pump. They've definitely had their stretchy stitching still fine, so that's good as well. Now, the other thing is grippers on the arms. These are really well made. They've got grippers, elastic on the arms, very good elastic, no problems there. And the way they've done it, they've got the arm, the material they've gone over, folded it under, and then double stitched it with a really nice stitching. I don't know if you can see that, I'll do a close up for you. Very well done there. The collar is also double stitched as well here, and it's very, very soft. No annoying stitching on the back of your neck. Well, none of the guys have complained either. And the zip as well. The zips on some of the cheap things, the zips fail. No problems. None of our guys have had any failures with the zips. Easy up and down, no problems at all. The other thing is it's got a little flap, so it's, when you close it, it's not just the zip. You can't just see the zip. It's got a flap of material, goes over, and then they've sewn it so that it covers the zip. That's a nice touch. I really like that. And the other thing too is it's got silicone gripper on the bottom too. So it narrows down, it's got elastic around the waist, and of course the silicone gripper inside. Really nice touches for the cheapest basic jersey they've got. Well, what else can I say? Just looking at the wear and tear on this jersey, it's still excellent. So value for money, these jerseys were $20 each, free postage, just Australian dollars. Extremely, extremely cheap. And the minimum order was 5. So we ordered 10 at a time because our guys, some of them wanted 2 or even 3 jerseys each, one for winter in the largest size, so you can wear something underneath base layers and something thicker as well. And we're also thinking of going to knits as well, bibs. We haven't done that, but we're thinking seriously about printing bibs. Now the guy who makes these says just let them know and they can come up with the design, exactly the same colours and everything, and I'll come up with a few different designs how we want our bibs to match these. And if we want more jerseys, if we want long sleeve, or we want to change the material or the cut, they can transfer exactly the same design over to a different sort of material, all that sort of thing, and have exactly the same pattern, so it looks the same in the design. Excellent. And just as a matter of interest, as far as weight's concerned, we'll weigh a few jerseys here. These are mine, they're exactly the same size. This one's by Santini. It's not a full zip, it's only a top part of the zip. This is 18 grams. That's that one. Reset. This one's by Scody. It's a different material, same size. This is a full zip. 20 grams. Reset. And our custom made Coast Cruisers jersey, 16 grams. It's actually lighter than the brand name ones. Now I've also got some bib nicks, these Santini ones which I wear, same size, 20 grams. Reset. And these Chinese ones, which will be exactly the same as the other ones, 24 grams. 4 grams extra. So the jerseys are a bit lighter, but the nicks are a bit heavier. Now, the reason is probably because this has got a really, really bulky chamois in it, Chinese one. Gel 3, 9D, blah, blah, etc., etc., etc. Quite comfortable. And this has got a really, really light, thin, super breathable Santini one. You see all the perforations in it. It's extremely light chamois. So I'd say that that's where the weight difference is. But really, 3 or 4 grams just goes to show you that weight really isn't an issue. So now let's have a look at our buying options. You can buy from the likes of eBay, DHgate, AliExpress and many other Chinese sellers. They're your cheapest option. Then there's the brand names, the likes of ASOS, Rafa, Santini and many others. But most of us will find those brand names prohibitively expensive. So just how bad or good is this Chinese clothing? The most common problem people have with ordering online is sizing. Buying online means you're not trying on the clothes in a shop. Many buyers then complain that they should have got the next size up or down. This can happen with any clothes bought online, brand names included. The solution? Know how to measure yourself and then consult the seller's sizing charts. Then you have the best fitting kit online shopping can buy. One of the most important pieces of kit and most overlooked are bibs or cycling shorts. And no matter how good you think you look in your bibs, unless they fit correctly and are comfortable, they're going to detract from your cycling experience. When riding our bike, we lean forward. This causes a folding of the material at the front of the bibs and a stretching on the rear. This will cause chafing and decrease the durability of your bibs. Bibs most susceptible to this problem are those made with a small number of panels, like this pair which is only made with 4 panels. The best fitting bibs are those with 6 panels or more. Here I'm wearing a pair of 4 and 6 panel bibs. It's difficult to see the stretching at the back, but the folding you can definitely see. So when ordering your cycling shorts, go for at least 6 panels. Now to the important part of the most important part of your kit, the padding in your cycling shorts. Traditionally called a chamois because back in the old days that's what they used as padding for their cycling shorts. And yes, it's the same thing that you wipe your car down with. It's the leather hide of this animal, a chamois. However, the chamois was high maintenance and not very breathable. The purpose of the padding in the shorts is to wick away moisture and to prevent chafing. So putting holes or perforations in the chamois made it a bit better, but then synthetics came along. The synthetic chamois was quick drying, ultra soft with virtually no maintenance. However, some of the early pads were quite uncomfortable, like this one. It feels like a plank of wood between your legs. It's difficult to tell how a chamois is going to perform for you just by looking at it. However, some of the chamois coming out of China now are very, very good, like this 9D gel one on the end. Remember, a chamois that is comfortable for you may not be for somebody else. It's a personal preference, and if you're buying for a group of, say, 10 to 20 people, go for one of the latest designs. You'll have a better chance of pleasing the majority. And one last point, yes, there are female-specific chamois. Although functionally, design, colours and logos we have on our kit serve no purpose whatsoever, we deem it a most important aspect of our clothing kit. As far back as 220 AD, woodblock printing was invented by the Chinese, and then in 1279, also by the Chinese during the Song dynasty, they invented silk screening. Later introduced into Japan and particularly Europe, silk screening came into mass production and was then called screen printing. Buttons came into existence about the 1800s, and then in 1893 the automatic continuous clothing closure known as the zipper. In the 1950s, printing and the t-shirt came into fashion, all screen printed until the early 80s. Early cycling clothing was either hand embroidered or screen printed. These classic jerseys remind us of the riders and racers of that vintage and have become vogue to wear today. Then, in 1983, this jersey was to change all printed cycle clothing. Ridden by multiple Tour de France winner Bernard Hinault and his team, designed and printed by Maurizio Castelli using a new printing method, sublimation. After this, cycle clothing prints were more complex in design and with more definition. Modern technology has brought about another printing method, direct to garment, which can be done with a small printer in your own home. It's an easy method of printing low quantities, like just one garment. And there's no messy setting up and cleaning up of inks. It's all done by the printer itself. Screen printing, it's still alive and very popular today for sheer quantity and for printing on different surfaces, not just t-shirts. With the finished product, the ink sits on top of the material and you can feel the raised print. And now, sublimation printing. The first step is to come up with a design, and that's pretty much anything you can put on a computer screen. Then the image is printed on a paper. Then that paper, with the material to be printed on, is put into the press together. Then these printed shapes are cut out and then sewn together to make a completed garment. The actual sublimation process occurs in the press. The paper with the image on it is placed on top of the fabric, and then heat and pressure is applied. The ink particles on the paper turn from a solid to a gaseous state and transfer into the fabric. The result is you can't feel any of the printing. It becomes part of the fabric. The printing can be done with larger images and greater quantities, and the same with the pressing. Then the various panels of the garments are cut out either by hand or by laser. Then finally, the various panels are sewn together to make the finished garment. So sublimation printing will give you a durable, long-lasting print with well-defined lines and true colour transfer. Here's just some of the spectacular sublimation prints you can get on your cycling kit. So, have you got a design that you would like it to become a kit? Don't worry if you can't do a perfect design. Send them in your ideas and logos anyhow. They can do the designing for you and send you back proofs to consider before they go ahead. Here's the proof for our Coast Cruisers jersey. Very simple, but everybody liked it. So, how to order for all your cycling buddies? Sellers like the one we used make it easy and cheap. First, find a seller. I used AliExpress, and then in the search bar type in custom cycling kit or custom cycling jersey, and there'll be plenty of sellers to choose from. Come up with the design that you like. There's online apps to help you, or you can take pictures of other designs and rearrange them how you like, or you can just simply draw approximately what you would like and then send that to the seller. Now choose the options that you want, type of material, zippers, cuffs and waists, chamois if you're ordering bibs, and any other options that they have, and then also how many of what sizes that you want. Make the payment and then they can start working on your design, and then soon they'll send you proofs for your approval. Then once you're happy with the design, they'll start production. Designing takes about 3 to 5 days. Production, same, about 3 to 5 days, plus the freight. I got our jerseys in just under 3 weeks. Now, if you're the one that's organising it all for everybody, and especially if you're the one that's forking out the money, your own money, then you need some sort of commitment from everybody. You don't want people pulling out or changing their mind at the last moment. That's awful, and then you're left over with bits of kit you don't know what to do with, and you've paid for it. So a good idea is to set a deadline for both orders and for money to be paid in. That way you can be secure and they can be secure as well as what's happening. So as for us, here's our jerseys here. I'm going to take them in on the ride on the weekend and give them to the guys and distribute them to those who paid for them. And there's a few extra leftovers as well for others who want some in the future. A few different sizes there. We're so happy. We've had no complaints. I've had no complaints for any guys saying any stitching's coming apart or anything. So we've ridden with them now for about the last 3 months, and it's been excellent. So much so that I've had a few guys asking, can we get arm warmers and can we get nicks as well? So probably we're thinking about the arm warmers first because it's winter here, and maybe in the springtime we're going to go for bibs as well. So we're going to do that rather than just the jerseys on their own, which is a good starting point anyhow. Now, in case you're wondering, on our jersey sleeve it's got INABR. What's INABR? Well, we've got 2 older gentlemen that quite often come out, and every now and again they'll say, it's not a bloody race. So that's what INABR is on the sleeve, out of respect for those 2 older gentlemen who are really, really great guys anyhow. So every now and again, like you probably got it in your group, every now and again you get friendly banter. You always get someone who wants to climb up the hill and be there first, or get to the 50k speed limit zone in a sprint, or take out on the front of the bunch and pull as hard as they can for as long as they can. You know what I'm talking about, there's always someone there. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's been helpful, and we'll catch you soon. Keep riding.
It says you shoot off.
Going well with the tops. Washed it about 20 times. Well, 15. Oh, look at that.
Dave loves his sausage rolls. Always has a sausage roll. This one rates a what, 5 out of 10? Not very good. 5 out of 10. It's tasteless, mostly pumpkin. And there's one cream.
Oh, too much sugar in this. Is there some sugar in that, John?